Rain poured down on the empty schoolyard like heaven itself was weeping that evening. Most of the students had already gone home, laughter and chatter fading into the distance except for one small figure sitting alone on the concrete steps. Her little hands covered her face as she sobbed softly, shoulders trembling in the cold drizzle. That's when he saw her, Mr. Ahmed, the English teacher no one really noticed. His shoes were worn, his shirt collar frayed, and his bag heavy with ungraded papers and the burden of a life that never seemed to give him a break. He could have walked past, he had his own worries, but something about that child's tears made him stop. What he didn't know was that this moment, this small act of kindness, would change his life forever. Mr. Ahmed approached gently, not wanting to scare her. "Hey," he said softly, kneeling down. "You'll catch a cold out here." "What's wrong?" The girl didn't look up right away. Her voice was barely a whisper. "They forgot to pick me up, again." He frowned. "Your parents?" She shook her head. "Just my dad. He's busy. Always busy." The rain grew heavier, and without thinking, Mr. Ahmed took off his worn jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders. "Come on, let's wait in my classroom. It's warmer there." Inside, the classroom lights flickered weakly. The walls were covered in faded posters and broken charts. He made her a cup of tea from the old kettle he used during long grading nights. She watched him quietly, eyes red but curious. "You're not scared of being here alone?" he asked gently. She shrugged. "Sometimes I am. But you seem kind." He smiled faintly. "Well, I try." As they talked, he learned her name, Maya. 8 years old. Bright eyes, good grades, but a loneliness far too heavy for her age. Her mother had died 2 years ago in a car accident. Her father, a businessman, had buried himself in work ever since. She said it like it was just normal now, like love had turned into an old photo kept in a box no one opened anymore. By the time her father's black car finally pulled up, it was dark. The man who stepped out was tall, in an expensive suit, face cold as stone. He walked briskly into the school. "Why is my daughter here?" His voice was sharp, commanding. Mr. Ahmed straightened nervously. "Sir, she was left outside. It was raining." You thought? The man cut him off. "You thought you'd keep her like some stray cat? You teachers think you know better than parents." Maya tugged at her father's sleeve. "Daddy, he was just helping me," but her father didn't listen. He simply grabbed her hand and left, leaving Mr. Ahmed standing there, the echo of his own good intentions ringing hollow. That night, Mr. Ahmed sat in his tiny apartment, staring at the leaking ceiling. His salary barely covered rent. His shoes had holes. But it wasn't poverty that hurt him most, it was how kindness so often went unseen, mistaken for weakness. Still, he couldn't get Maya's tear-streaked face out of his mind. Something about her eyes, so full of pain, reminded him of himself when he was young and lost. The next day, when Maya came into class, she gave him a shy smile. She'd drawn something, a picture of a man holding an umbrella over a little girl in the rain. "That's you," she whispered. "You helped me." He swallowed hard, trying not to show the emotion that hit him all at once. "Thank you, Maya. That means a lot." As weeks passed, they developed a quiet bond. She began to open up again. Her laughter returned in small bursts. Mr. Ahmed noticed her grades improving, her spirit lifting. But behind her joy, he still saw the shadow of loneliness, and he couldn't shake the feeling that her father didn't truly see her pain. Then, one Friday afternoon, everything changed. Maya didn't show up to class. Nor the next day. Rumors spread that she'd been taken out of school. Mr. Ahmed felt a strange emptiness settle over him. Days later, he was summoned to the principal's office. "Mr. Ahmed," the principal said, his tone softer than usual. "There's someone here to see you." In walked the same man, the father, but this time his expression was different. He looked tired, haunted. "Mr. Ahmed," he began quietly. "I owe you an apology." Mr. Ahmed blinked in surprise. "Sir? I've been a fool. I didn't realize how much my daughter needed someone like you." He paused, struggling for words. "Maya hasn't stopped talking about you. She said you're the only one who listens. The only one who cared." His voice cracked. "After my wife died, I thought burying myself in work would make the pain go away. But I ended up losing her too, almost." Mr. Ahmed felt a lump form in his throat. "She just needs love, sir. That's all any child really needs." The father nodded slowly. Then, to Mr. Ahmed's shock, he said, "I'd like to help you, Mr. Ahmed. You see, I own Awan Holdings." Mr. Ahmed froze. Awan Holdings was one of the biggest corporations in the city. He had seen the name on countless billboards but never imagined he'd be standing before its CEO. "I heard from the principal that you've been teaching here for years, underpaid, overworked. You've been buying supplies for students with your own money." Mr. Ahmed shrugged modestly. "They need them." The man smiled faintly. "You remind me of someone. My late wife. She was a teacher too. The room fell silent for a moment before he continued, I want to build something in her memory, a scholarship program for underprivileged kids. And I want you to run it. Mr. Ahmed stared, unable to believe his ears. Me? Yes, you. You taught my daughter more about kindness in one afternoon than I ever could with all my wealth. Months later, the small, forgotten school became a place of hope. New classrooms, fresh books, smiling faces. At the opening ceremony, Maya stood beside her father and Mr. Ahmed, holding both their hands. The CEO spoke to the crowd, voice trembling slightly. Sometimes, the poorest people give the richest lessons. My daughter found a teacher who showed us both that kindness is priceless. As applause filled the air, Mr. Ahmed looked up at the sky. The rain had stopped. The sun was breaking through the clouds, and for the first time in a long while, he felt that maybe, just maybe, goodness had found its way home again, and as Maya ran up to hug him, whispering, Thank you for saving me that day, Mr. Ahmed smiled softly. You know, Maya, he said. You saved me.